Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. I just decided to do a little stream. I'm drawing some pictures for the Word for Word Bible comic, and what I normally do is draw things by hand, but when I draw spiritual things and things like that, I will because I use like airbrush kind of effects and things like that, I'll just draw it, straight onto Photoshop. So in this page, let me just show you the words. I've done the words already, and this is from Matthew 13, and the basically it's the parable of the weeds. There's so the original parable. Let's go to it. Let's see it on my screen. Sorry, it's separated. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field, but while everyone was sleeping, his enemies came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds did also. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow the good seed in the field? Where did these weeds come from?" And he said, "An enemy did this." The servant asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" He said, "No, because while you are pulling up the weeds, you may uproot the wheat as well. Let them both grow together until the time of harvest. At that time, tell the harvesters to collect the weeds, tie them in bundles, and have them burned. Then gather the wheat and bring them to the barn." Then this page that we're on in question says then. So some other stuff happens during, but they say then he left the crowd and went into the house. "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field and the one who sowed the good seed and and Jesus says the one who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man, and the field is the world, and the good seed stand for people of the kingdom. The weeds are people of the evil one, and the enemies who sows them is the devil." And then it says the harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are the angels. "As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of the kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of the Father, and then whoever has ears, let him hear." Now, I'm just going to be drawing, but at the top here, this green line, it's not done yet. It's going to be where my painting of sort of Satan is. Haven't exactly decided how it's going to go yet, which is one of the reasons I thought I might live stream it, just because I don't know, you see how I try and make decisions as I go, or just let the pen do its thing and then kind of figure out if I like it. But before that, I show you I just did the angel. Now you can see this layer here that I'm going to turn on and off is a cloud, and we might talk about that in a second. This is the angel. So it's just a white silhouette glowing, but with the scythe. Now I've given him a slightly more modern scythe, but talks about having a scythe. And then I was painting into that in the comic. I did it so that the the angels often appear as like people. Well, sometimes they appear as people, and it's the same for Satan. He does the same thing. And the person is kind of like just a normal person, but like they glow or something. And so when Satan appears, he's a silhouette of a man. So he's like a walking silhouette sort of thing. But then around them, they have a spirit sort of element, which so in this case, I've just been drawing this one, and I was thinking, people might find it interesting. because again, I didn't really plan exactly how I was going to do it. Just sort of trying to figure it out as I was going, giving him some wings and things like that. So that's the angel that I've drawn. I'm quite happy with that. And in front of him, obviously, is the fire that talks about in the verse. And there'll be some more people down in the. I forget you can't see the cursor in the bottom right hand corner. But I was just gonna play around with the sort of Satan bit and just see how it goes basically. And you can watch, and I may or may not speak. I'm just setting up the brush. The reason that the angel is sitting on a cloud, which you might think is a bit what's the word? It's cliche or something. It's because actually I've drawn because it talks about the angel that's going to harvest, and it is going to harvest wheat. You harvest wheat with a sickle, and it's talking about at the end of the age. Now in where did I find it? Revelation 14. That's where we get the verse about when Jesus does call for this to be done, and it talks about the angel with the scythe or a sickle and in his hand. No, I might have to look at that. If it's a sickle, I might have to change it. This I'll double check that. But the angel, Revelation 14:14, he is sitting on a cloud. So in my notes I drew this roughly, this angel standing, but then I thought I might as well have him sitting on a cloud like it says in the text. Now got to sort of play around with this. Not really sure what I'm going to do. Get the colours from over here to make it consistent. New layer. And set the opacity down a bit. Not really sure what to do. Maybe I'll go for some ribs. I did some demons before, and basically they're like an amalgamation of disembodied kind of body parts and stuff, and putting ribs and making their faces a bit like skulls more than like normal faces gave them the right kind of appearance I wanted. Now this is going to be the dragon. I'm trying to remember how I did it before. What I'm doing is just trying to achieve. I want to have I need to drag this in a little bit because I can't reach the undo button. I want to have it so it suggests something without it being like sort of completely so in this case I want to make it slightly dragon-like, but not necessarily. And it's hard, you've got to kind of do it and figure out, well, is it, draw it a lot like a dragon and then kind of pull it back and delete bits and whatever. Brush. So like that's way too much. I just had a thought. I wonder if anybody's commenting. I haven't got the comment thing loaded up. I don't know if it's going to work today. Didn't work very well last time. See how it goes. I think if anybody watches on YouTube, they seem to work just fine, but the ones that are coming through on Facebook don't come so well. So I'll do see if I can bring up the post on YouTube so I can see if anybody comments, because I think that's the, no, not YouTube, Facebook. I think that's the place that people are going to mainly do so. Let's go to my own profile. But it's all going to load very slowly. I also need to turn that off. Turn off the speaker, or else you're going to end up hearing me twice. I don't know, this is not right. Timeline, there we go. Now, if anybody does comment, I should be able to eventually notice that you have commented. Let's see, and then let's try and get this done. Oh, come on, Facebook. Okay. Now the other problem is if it starts to lag, I might need to shut the comments down again. Let's do a test comment, see if it comes through onto the other thing. No, so that's not working. Oh yes, it did come through. Hooray! Right, okay, so I'll shut that down. So in theory, if you comment on Facebook, I should be able to see. And if you comment on YouTube and stuff as well. Okay. Right. Just sort of want to make it like a suggestion to say. The other thing I did with the demons before was when I did sort of limbs and stuff on them, I made them like bone-like. It's kind of not necessarily the same for Satan, because he's not necessarily a demon in the same way as a fallen angel, but it could be like this. And you can see, like, if it was a real person, like that arm would have to be above the rib cage and stuff, but things like that is where we can just depart from needing to be too prescriptive. I don't know. Some balance needs to be there, or else it kind of looks too weird, but one of the things I like to do is kind of like here, it's not working yet, but is to have it so it's like you see something, you're like, is it an eye? Is it supposed to be an eye, or is it supposed to be like a big, like a horn in this case? And then just because then as people see it, think, you know, like, what is it? It's hard to understand, and that's what I want them to think, because as I did with my blog about the cherubim, yeah, I just think that people could see what they saw, but it's when they tried to describe it, they're like, yeah, it's kind of like a lion or something, and they couldn't really describe it. I don't know, it's like literally just playing around. I'm trying to remember how I did it before. I bring up where I drew him there. I bring up a different file where I drew the well, Satan. You'll be able to see it as well. And I'll be able to see it, which is what I want. It's taking a long time to load because because it's streaming and everything. It takes a lot of energy. So I did it before. So so I could do the eyes similar. Could maybe work. How did it go? Oh yeah. So the eyes kind of like. Let's get rid of this bit for now and bring it back if I like it. If I want to. Okay, in a minute. So I did before. The eyes I did before was like this, essentially. And again, I could maybe extend them and do this thing with the horns that I was just talking about a minute ago. I don't know if you can see, I think you can see my history bar. You might notice I put a little marker on where I started deleting it, because that means I can just go back to that point if I want, if this turns out to be rubbish. It's a bit rubbish. What else did I have? Like that. Doesn't work with the shape that's behind it. That's the problem. It's just not working. So again, so I can go back to there. Sort of possibly better then. Maybe. Oh, what's happened? Colour. Do a different version of it. Different type. Having things that are not exactly symmetrical as well sometimes works. If you are watching, give us a shout out, because you know, can't tell. Can't tell who's there when you're live streaming. So if you're watching, it's just too dragony now. Let's see. There's like a bit like this. It's very colourful as well. It probably won't be quite as colourful as this after it's finished, because things will get like toned down, or this particularly might go right back. Like this. I'm not planning to leave the head as just a ball blob that is now. It's just that's, well, as you saw when we began, it's like it's yeah, it's just a line. Let's just do a human face to start with and then modify it. This is kind of what I mean about 100% sure it's going to turn out when you do it. Well, when you do it with an airbrush as well, like, I don't know, it's just sort of very loose. You're drawing, instead of drawing lines and then filling them in, you're, drawing the bits that would be filled in when it's coloured, so it's sort of like different. So what if we did different horns this time? There's not much room for horns up here. It's just worth trying things. I think this is not a good idea, but what happens if we make the nose a bit longer? Problem is, it's it becomes too human, and then you can't use it. A bit more dragon-like. If I distort this a bit more, very dragon-like, all of a sudden. Thing. Don't know, on these bits. Because last time I was doing horns that kind of looked like tentacles. Slightly Cthulhuoid look to it. Just gonna check it's going alright on the old Facebook again, because the messenger thing was saying it was initializing, so I don't know if it's working or not. I was also thinking about sharing it onto the page. Yeah, seems to work alright. Just popping it through to the Facebook page. As I do these more and more, I guess it will be a little bit more slick. Probably just not a great time of day. Okay. Oops. Colour. Is that a good jumping off point? I don't know. Right, so let's try. Thing is, I'm changing all this stuff in the face. I've left the arm. I don't know if I'm going to keep the arm or not, really. Possibly not. Try and again link it to how it looked before. Might work. I think the thing behind is a bit distracting. It makes everything look a bit rough. Oh, that's not helping, is it? I don't know, a bit less of a blob. That colour back. I wonder if I should. I wonder if I should just try and achieve that as a base. Get rid of that because maybe it's distracting me too much. Get onto here. Just try and do it similar how it was in that picture. Don't normally, when I'm doing pencil drawings, I don't normally go over things this many times. This is a problem when you have to draw something so difficult, like angels and Satan in this case. So I'm trying to just kind of get to start with it being a bit like it is there. And then maybe I can change it. It's going to be different just by virtue of being drawn again. This is the sort of thing as well. It's like you draw these lines, and then on that side it was like, are they horns? Is it hair? what is it? Yes, there's something in the middle on the other one, but I think it's not going to work on this one very well. I'd normally take the words away as well, but in this case I'm kind of drawing around them. So I want to make sure that you've got enough space still. Because there's a couple of people watching. Please feel free to give us a comment or say who you are. It's a rather tricky operation undergoing. The mouse not very helpful, I think. Okay, yeah, I got rid of the mouth, that was a bit better. Again, with angels and stuff, often, if you've just joined us, this was the angel I did before, I was talking about. I often don't give them mouths, and sometimes I don't even give them a face. It's hard to decide what to do with them and what kind of expression people need. I don't think it's the same. It worked better with that one because he had a head underneath. So I'm just attempting to develop a good look for Satan on this one. I remembered that when I do angels, sometimes I use lots of layers. Oops, got rid of the eye accident. And maybe that would be a good idea for this. So yeah, let's try a different layer. Oops, wrong color. Oh yeah, I made it. Let's turn the original one up a little bit. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to do the kind of do these sort of ears that are basically like wings on the cherubim. I was wondering if that might work well here. This is sort of what I was going for when I made the other one that I've been looking at. That bottom bit looks like a moustache now. That's quite good. Might be good because it's sort of hard to tell what it's supposed to be. Something like this. It's reminiscent of the other one, I guess. Lots of horns and stuff. The green colour, as many of you'll know if you've read the books before, is representative of the it's like spirit. So this colour on the angel is the Holy Spirit, and then Satan and demons and stuff of this other yellowy green colour. It's like a corrupted version of it. That's the point. Oh. Something like this. As I said a minute ago, hopefully you can see how it's just kind of like randomly putting things in different places and then kind of seeing how they look, because you don't want, it doesn't really matter with the demons because it doesn't really matter how they turned out, but with Satan you don't really want him to look thuggish, but you don't, and then I don't really want him to look too stereotypical of how he is depicted normally and things. So yeah, this is working a bit better where there's sort of like horns or are they tentacles coming out of his face. It's sort of smoke. I use the airbrush and that. I use it as a way to show that things are different than, so in the real world it's drawn like this with hard lines, blacks, not much fountain fill of colour and stuff, and then in the spirit ones that's all they are, is sort of like faint and they're, like I say, these horns or whatever, I always do them so that they like fade out like this, so they don't actually end, they just become nothing, and like this, but too much, and so no, without blunting them off, that's a problem. So actually quite like the head now, finally. The amount of times I've already done it. I'm trying to make it a bit like that, yeah. Maybe I could make the eyes a little bit bigger at the bottom. Just to confuse things. Oh, people might think that's a nose. Nostrils, I suppose. No, too much. Yeah, they're coming across that nose. Maybe I'll do the ones above a bit more, and maybe that'll balance it out. just checking again see if it's actually working on Facebook. Yeah, I think it is. Cool. Well, yeah, I think we're getting closer to where we want to be. Let's bring back that bit. Now I can kind of do something with this. Just bringing it up to 100% so I can get the colour. And what I could do is just ill-define what is here. Like, I mean, that's weird, that's like a star. But I want it to end not like a blob underneath, certainly. That was a minute ago. But I mean, maybe it'll just fade out, I don't know. Fade out, maybe I need a bit less. A bit less of that. More down here, maybe. Don't make it too beardy. It's just weird with the sort of thing. Like, you add a line and then, like, oh, it's a beard. Oh, it's a nose. You know, just how the brain works. You're not 100% sure what it's going to be. Oops, put some dots. Maybe I should do a different layer for that. The cherubim, they have sort of these, well, what they're supposed to be is like eyes, essentially, because it says that they have eyes kind of all over them, but I've done them basically so they're like, are they eyes, are they stars? And they sort of help to, sometimes they actually use them as eyes. Sometimes they help to confuse matters, and like I say, try and just playing around with. It's like just by moving that dot around, it's like now it's a slug with a mouth, and then this one is like a face, like a person. That other middle one's actually that made it again sort of slug-like or something. A lot more Cthulhuoid, like that. Sad. Put them in and make it not clear which bit's which. Again, that makes that look like the eye. This one look like the eye, and then the middle bit look like I'm supposed to be a mouth or something. Which now I'm seeing it that way. I'm wondering if other people are going to read it that way. They probably are. I know what I could do. Exit my eyes like this. Yes, very complicated. I don't know. I shall develop it more later, but I think I'm going to cut you guys off now. Just in case you just joined us, that's the angel at the bottom there. But yeah, some more decisions will need to be made about this, and more experiments, and figuring out what I'm going to do with the body as well. But thanks for watching if you've been there, watching on the stream, and feel free to, you'll be able to watch it again on the back, so feel free to whack a load of comments on us after, and I'll come back later and have a look. And thanks for watching. Might do some more of these another time depending on how it goes, but yeah, thanks a lot for watching this time. I'll see you next time.